math is mathing.
That math ain't mathing for me.
Look, that's why the moment you break down homeopathy to anybody who thinks, most people are like,
I use my brain. Bullshit. I use my brain in the capacity more than zero. Okay, before I play this is what we're gonna start with. Episode 36, by the way. I know it was still a thing when y'all were kids. Thank you for that.
Was that a fart or a
no?
burp?
It was probably both.
There's a burp this time.
This time. So, was Alvin and the Chipmunks a thing for y'all? Like the original cartoon?
No.
These two specifically.
A little bit. It wasn't huge for me until it came out in theaters back in like 2000 or whatever.
That's when they did the quote unquote live action remake.
Yeah. I watched every once in a while. I would watch some clips of it back in the day, or catch it on TV and watch 10, 15 minutes.
There's two Alvin and the Chipmunk movies. And I don't even know what got me thinking about them the other day, but I remember loving these two movies. It was Alvin and the Chipmunks meet the Wolfman, and the other one was they meet Frankenstein's monster. Mm-hmm. And I remember fucking loving the music in these. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to remember, I couldn't tell you what the song was. I just remember loving the music. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And there's no major thing going, there's no major reason I shared this other than just to make y'all listen to it.
I mean, I probably have heard this too, and it's probably going to kick nostalgia right to the front of my mind.
This was...
Yeah, I don't remember this one. Wait till the hook comes in.
Right. If a monster came in my room.
Oh yeah, that was not right.
Say it again.
That one line
was far. That's the reason I loved this song.
Now, I don't have room to talk. There are whole songs I will listen to just for a lyric that comes halfway through it.
Right.
It's 7 minutes long.
Right.
Like the song, I think, communication is sexy / I don't know how to communicate. But
also, by the way, reminder, this was single digits Rueben.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
With
this song.
No judgment.
Ruben's still kicking this in his room right now.
Fucking be. I might start, honestly.
No, you struck me as a Beethoven kid.
It was in there too.
Nah,
fucking.
Imagine the Nightcore version.
Nightcore
fucking
version?
Nightcore, which was, I remember that when there was still very specifically
the monster to his doom. If a monster came in my room.
The opposite of Nightcore, yeah.
Well, I thought Nightcore was
No, Nightcore was everything sped up to sound like Chipmunks. Mm-hmm. But very specifically club and techno and more pop kind of stuff. Whereas then you had the rest of everything that was also sped up and just called the Chipmunk version. One of my favorite things was Avenged Sevenfold Chipmunk version. That was a whole fucking era of YouTube. That was a whole era in YouTube in which everything got a sped up version.
Now your shorts being all Legend of Air.
It's just all Legend. I have the season that this one comes from sitting in. This is unimportant. Goddamn. Actually, it is important. Let's watch this. I really love this. Would you rather fight a 1 Krampus-sized gorilla or 1,000 gorilla-sized Krampuses? Legends of Adventures. I have to watch. Oh, man. Because it's something I've seen these shorts go by all the time, and I've laughed out. I've just never put it together. It was Legends of Adventures until fucking Mike pointed it out. It's I see someone finally is getting around to Legends of Adventures. But yeah.
Well, the shorts are truly legendary.
Mm-hmm. Shorts are absolutely fucking fantastic.
If it's anything like the Smosh clip shows, just watching the show is just that much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if I'll get around to watching it because of how my brain works, but
That's fair.
it seems like it's wonderful.
I'm going to be very distracted every time I try to watch this, but it's okay.
Actually, I would kind of like. I haven't seen a full episode. I'd kind of like to see how it plays out a little bit.
All right, Friday it is. We'll watch.
I mean, we can
Actually,
watch
no.
it together.
I'm not going to be here Friday.
When I was you keep in my room. What?
I seen him Yeah, no, fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks says it. I should look up who the singers behind Alvin and the Chipmunks were. I don't know if there was like just some unnamed pop band that never got around to being
Alvin
famous.
Some helium horking twink.
They changed Alvin's voice actor like 5 times.
I will believe so, because all you're doing is just speeding it up. Oh, this is what did it. This is where it came from.
Okay, that animation's sick.
Yeah. Where's the fucking volume button?
What is his clothes?
Do you not remember that was his clothing?
Oh yeah.
He's wearing a pillowcase.
And this is why, okay, I'm remembering why I wanted to bring this up. Because
I think I know what you're gonna say.
watch the animations. Whoever the fuck animated these sequences was doing so much with the principles of animation.
They really were.
They were cranking that shit up to 11 for no great reason.
Squashing and stretching.
Like,
They are made of rubber.
they are made of, they're not even made of rubber, they're made of fucking putty.
Damn, you're right.
It is like, why are they squashing and stretching
Why
so
don't these
much?
chipmunk children have bones?
They don't,
no bones.
they don't adhere to any model between their key poses. They go wherever they have to go.
They're all Luffy.
They're all Luffy. I was just about to, like, why are they so rubbery?
Who took their bones and what are they doing with them?
Right? Like, oh my god, I forget what this one is from. Chipmunk Adventure. So this was the show itself. I did not realize this was the 80s. It's just,
I think it's hilarious too how just like the Chipettes just look like humans.
they're just little humans.
Let's see, the chipmunks are small girls, and the chipmunks are chipmunks in
Aliens.
pajamas.
Yeah.
Right. Also, like, I always love the attention to deep. What the fuck?
Hello?
What was that?
That was a seizure inducer.
That's
I like to throw that in there to weed out the weak ones.
that's the drugs kicking in.
Was that
Somebody was just like, I want to do this cool little effect.
There's no way that was on purpose.
I think that was on
right?
purpose. Whoops. Oh, that was the end of it. You could have, whoever fucking uploaded this, you could have put the whole thing on. From the We Don't Want to Grow Up podcast, apparently. But yeah. You know what? I should make sure it's still going. Okay, sweet. Yeah, no, Alvin and the Chipmunks, their animations were so extra. What did you think I was going to talk about?
Just the fact that the Chipettes look like humans.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's like, instantly I was like, oh yeah.
Why do they look like little humans?
And that
What's
happens
going
in a lot
on?
of cartoons in the around that time,
Where
it's like the male counterparts are whatever species.
Whatever species. They have a lot more varied and like creative and interesting design to them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas any female counterparts are just cute girls with maybe an animal nose.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get them to look like girls unless I draw them like girls.
Oh my fucking goodness. So this is from r/AmITheAsshole. Can't you already saw the title, but for y'all, my sister told me that she and my fiance were having an affair before his death.
Wild.
I'm reading it on this screen down here. Right?
Wild title.
Wild ass title.
Huh?
But wait until
Advice needed.
advice needed. Wait until we fucking read this bitch. So, About a month ago, my 25 female fiance, 27 male, had unfortunately gotten killed in a car crash. It was devastating for everyone, especially since me and him were going to have our wedding in September of this year and was planning on buying a new house together next year. For context, this post is from 2 days ago.
Wait. My 20.
Did you die in a car accident?
No. What?
Oh, never mind. I thought this was you and Kayla for a second.
No, you both died in a car accident, actually.
You both will.
I'm like Ghost. I realized just
Wait a
now.
minute. Yeah,
I've had out you
capitalism says
fucking
you're not
around.
getting, capitalism says you don't get to go away. So
Damn.
sorry, bud.
Even
death.
anti-aging is actually to extend your capacity for labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got debts to pay, nigga.
All right, what were you confused about?
No, the 25, is she saying
She's 25 and he's 27.
the sister's 25?
No. This is my 25F. She's describing herself. This is
Okay.
people do it this way on Reddit for some reason.
Okay.
But she's saying herself, a 25-year-old female, and her fiance, a 27-year-old male,
Okay.
had unfortunately gotten killed in the car. Her,
Do people ever put in like non-binary or anything like that in there?
not often for some reason.
Maybe they
I
just
think some
don't
people will.
specify.
Some
if they're
usually
male or
if
female.
usually if it's something like that, they just don't specify at all. But yeah, so 25-year-old woman, her fiance, a 27-year-old man, gets killed in a car crash. That is the important bits on this. They're gonna buy a house next year, and they're supposed to get married this September. It was like everything I had dreamed of had came true before it all came crashing down. Of course, I haven't been taking it well and just been staying in bed, not wanting to talk to anyone, on some occasions drinking myself to sleep. But today, my friends had... I'm kind of slurring here, hold on. But today, my friends had managed to give me the courage to finally go outside after nearly 4 weeks of just staying indoors. I'll admit I wasn't looking forward to it, but I did have a good time with them and even got a smile on my face for the first time ever since my fiance's death. But when I came back home and walked into the living room... Okay, that was about a month ago. But when I came back home and walked into the living room, that's when I saw my sister, a 22-year-old female, in my wedding dress, music playing in the background while she was looking at herself in the mirror with obvious tears down her face. When she noticed me, immediately she screamed at me to get out, but I stood my ground and refused until she had explained herself. That's when she broke down and told me that before my fiance's death, her and him had been having an affair and that they were planning on running away together before the wedding.
Yo.
When she told me all of that, I started to have a panic attack and ran to lock myself in my room. She did try and get me out so she could explain herself more, but what on earth is there more to explain?
Yeah.
I feel sick even writing this, to be honest. I don't want to look at her. I don't want anything to do with her, and all I've been doing is crying all day. This year has honestly been the worst in my entire life, and I seriously don't know what to do.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. That makes sense why he died, though.
Damn. Damn. The universe said, nah, son.
So when I initially read this, and there's an edit to this post, as well as there's some relevant stuff in the comments that I want to bring up. Because when I initially read this, something didn't feel right. And I couldn't put my finger on it. Not in the usual way of this is clearly like a fake story type deal, which it probably is, but not even on that front. It was more like that.
We're missing context type of thing.
Not so much missing context. It was she had on your dress.
Yeah.
That had on your dress, music playing, bawling her eyes out, looking in the mirror in the living room.
Yeah, that's like if they lived together, that would make sense.
Yeah. Which she does. We'll get to the edit in a second. I was like, and so I'm saying, like, it struck me as like, that seems like psychotic behavior.
Yeah, that seems like pretty fucking psycho bullshit.
Yeah.
Like trying to be you bullshit, not. Yeah.
So edit says, hey everyone, I'm sorry for not replying to every comment as it's just too much at the moment. And again, I've just been sleeping a lot and still drinking, so I haven't had the time either way. As for
Girl,
my
you should
sister, I'm
stop
going to be
drinking.
confronting her today about what happened and what she told me. I also want to answer the common question that I haven't told my parents about this since me and her are both no contact since they abused us a lot while we were growing up, which is why she lives with me now. And no, I'm not aware of any mental illnesses that she has at the moment. And the reasons I posted into Am I the Asshole is I know I'm not the asshole. I just needed advice on what to do. I'd also like to thank everyone for offering me advice and support on the whole situation. So they live together because they're both no contact with their parents. So they do live together.
I mean, it's still psychotic behavior.
That's psycho behavior. And
but
you may
it's
not
like-
have been
It's not as weird if she showed up in the house from a different location.
It's not as weird as that. That would have been so much worse. Like, so
We're still recording, right? I just wanted
you
to
should
check.
be.
Okay.
I ain't worried about it. So once I got to the comment section, it was apparent to everyone else too, like what was so off about this. This doesn't sound like she's confessing to his infidelity posthumously. This sounds like she had a psychotic break, and everyone in the comments was saying the same thing of like that. Most people were like, get proof, because there would be some kind of proof. They were texting, they were sending pics. Something was happening in which there is proof of this.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone else was, because like I couldn't put my finger on it at first, and everybody else was picking up was like, that don't sound like, this sounds like she's been obsessed with you. And then after explaining that they've both been like majorly abused mentally and physically by their parents, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, this was one particularly relevant comment that I wanted to read out. So commenter says, my best friend died of an overdose. A bunch of us got together to throw a fundraiser for his son. One of his high school best friends centered herself in everything until she stopped getting enough attention. Then she started lying about crazy shit. First, she said she had hacked his laptop. Then she said there was a diary on the laptop, no way in hell, that first declared he'd always been in love with her. He had just proposed to his girlfriend a week prior to his death. Second, that he had killed a homeless person, lol no. And third, that he had killed himself on purpose. He had been clean for over 6 months and ran into an old friend who gave him his old dose and watched him suffocate on his own vomit. All of this was trickled out over months, so every time things calmed down, there would be a new shocking reveal. I got sick of it. I tried a couple times to get her to stop, more successfully got everyone else to ignore her BS. And then when she started with the he died on purpose stuff, I couldn't get her to stop, and it was going to get back to his teen son. So I beat the shit out of her and told her the next time she opened her mouth with Jeremy's name in it, I was coming back and taking her teeth. She stopped. No more shocking reveals. When his girlfriend finally got the laptop back, it was hers. There was no diary. This came after like a lot of other comments going, this doesn't sound like he was cheating on you. This sounds like she's going nuts. Like this girl might be a little crazy. Which, everybody grieves in their own way. Because the OP does say that because they lived together, the brother and the fiance and the sister had a close enough relationship as that goes. And so it's very possible that this girl dreamed up a life with him that was probably never actually reciprocated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea or the threat of somebody that you're that close with being taken away, or there being separation because they're moving on to some other life with somebody else, especially if you relied on each other intimately to avoid like the abuse of your parents. I could easily see that making somebody go off the rails.
Right. It's trauma manifests in a very interesting way. But even if it is trauma, that is a wildly fucked up thing to do to your grieving sister.
Right.
I read this one not because I didn't even expected a lot of discussion around it. It was just such a wild whiplash of Oh shit! Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Was there like
okay.
an update or anything? From
Not
OP
not that I
since,
know
or-
of. Not since. No.
Well, I don't know if there is one, it'll probably be a long time.
yeah.
All right, because I don't know, that girl, it's only when she was posting it, it sounded like it only been a month since the death of her fiance.
Right.
Like, that is not
It's
long
not a
time.
very long time.
Especially not to grieve the death of somebody you cared about that much. It's
Especially for a
the loss of
wedding that's coming up in like
Yeah,
fucking a couple weeks.
Mhm.
like
Wait a hot hateful minute. Oh wait, never mind. Don't worry about me.
yeah, girl's not okay. Girl's not in a position to evaluate the psychology of her sister.
Nor should she have to be, right?
Yeah, like
That is a very unfortunate situation to be in which you are both living together because of the abuse you both suffered.
yeah.
And now it's add one more fucking bomb to the nuke that has been this girl's life.
Mhm.
Like, let's just chuck like a stick of dynamite on the nuke that has already been her last like few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel for this girl. Like, because like there's a part of me that wants to get down to the bottom of this. Like, I would want answers.
Right.
I know for a fact I would want answers, but there's the other part of me of like, I don't know if I'd be able to deal with handling that right now in a mature fashion. And I'm still grieving my fucking dead fiance.
Mm-hmm.
That is, woo, lad. Because like you read so many Reddit stories in which the immediate is like, damn, that piece of shit. How can you cheat on your fiance with her little sister? And like, usually how it goes. But this was one of the first ones where I saw an immediate, like just an immediate, everyone going like,
Hold up.
wait,
Hold up.
wait
She
a
was
minute.
in your dress.
Something ain't
She
right.
was standing in your dress?
Yeah.
That don't sound like guilt or not even necessarily guilt or just admission.
Mm-hmm.
And then to yell at you for walking into your house, right? Because you walked in and she was standing in the fucking living room, but like, huh? But yeah, it's like I would heavily recommend getting some kind of proof before moving forward, because most likely if you get his phone, because I guess his parents have his phone right now. They got his phone after his death. But it's like, if you get that phone from them, or even have your sister show you a text, like there's no way you don't like,
Yep.
it was like, if someone mentioned, it was like, ask her to show you a text. And if she refuses to, you know your answer. If she absolutely refuses, she has told you that she's having an affair with your fiance. There's no reason she would refuse to show you the proof of it. It's like, it's wow. That's not something I would want to be fucking dealing with on top of all this bullshit. But
I hope she starts drinking less.
yes, please stop drinking so heavily.
Yeah, that part of the edit / update to it was
/ in the original post, she's
Yeah.
been drinking herself into a stupor.
well. Even like the edited one. It says,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm still drinking." I'm like,
I've still been drinking. Hey, we should stop doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I absolutely understand it as like a temporary crutch, but you do not want to make a habit out
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Don't create more lasting issues.
Especially at least the very least, do it in memory of the people. Don't do it in the memory of people who passed.
Right.
Right, like your fiance, even despite that loss and how much it hurt you, they would want you to live a full and complete and happy life,
Right.
even if it's without them.
Mhm.
And to see you spiral into like alcoholism because they are not in the picture anymore would be devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of pouring it in, you got to pour
Pour
it
one out for the homie.
You gotta vomit.
Be a real fast one.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that was just a crazy one. It'll be interesting if I do find out about an update later on. Down the road. This one I got to it maybe 2 hours after it was posted, and it had already blown the fuck up. This one is a much more lighthearted, or I say lighthearted, it's a much less heavy one than that last
it's
one.
less heavy.
I'm actually going to move this over here. Normally I don't want to have it on the TV, but I kind of like being able to read it without the camera in my way. So, am I the asshole for using my nickname exclusively in school, even in our school newsletter?
My nickname, Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. So, my full name is Alexander, but I, 16 male, go by Lex. My mom hates it. She always calls me Alexander and has asked me to explain why I choose Lex over Alexander repeatedly to her. She has told me Lex sounds like you forgot to finish what you were saying, and Lex is all that comes out. She told me it sounds like a girly name. She has even told me okay, I think it's a bit of a grammatical error. She has even told me to stop saying I'm Lex because my name on my birth certificate and all of my documents is Alexander. She told me Alexander is a handsome and sophisticated name and I should be using nothing but that. And if I really need to, I could always use my middle name instead.
What's his middle name?
I don't fucking know. Mom
Lex.
is the... Say it again.
Said Lex.
Mom is the only person who still calls me Alexander, and last year I was even given a student login with Lex instead of Alexander, which is why this has become a big deal now. My school's back to school newsletter had a photo of me for a school club I'm the face of, and they called me Lex, last name. So Lex and then his last name in the newsletter. My mom freaked out about it. She told me she gave me the name Alexander for a reason and I should stop trying to discard the name she lovingly chose for me. She also told me I'm screwing myself because people take Alexander far more seriously than they take Lex, she said to the 16-year-old. She called and complained to the teacher in charge of the newsletter which was humiliating. I got berated all afternoon after the newsletter went out Tuesday. My mom told me I need to make it right and to stop using Lex in school. Am I the asshole? No! Your mom is just a raging bitch.
Your mom just sucks.
Your mom sucks a lot.
Your mom's probably narcissistic.
Maybe a little bit. And she's at the minimum, she's wildly obsessed with having you as a personal accessory.
Yeah.
And if you have more siblings, it's probably doing the same with them.
Just confused as to why somebody would be so against you establishing your own sense of identity.
Oh boy.
Because I established your identity for you.
Yeah, you're Alex. I named you. Therefore, you have to do what I say.
Not Alex. Alexander.
You're right.
Alexander.
That is one thing. I'm like, why doesn't she at least use Alex? Is it always Alexander?
I'm not even bothered with her using Alexander because he does say it's always Alexander. She picked Alexander specifically.
I'm just wondering, like...
No, she calls him Alexander.
I guess specifically it has to be that for her.
Alexander is so long.
Unwieldy.
It's very unwieldy, right? But like, even then, okay, don't call him Alex or Lex or anything. Just call him Alexander. Sure, fine, whatever. But to get this mad about him going by a different name, that isn't not even just like a different name. Like this is like, because this doesn't even approach the boundaries of something like you find out, as wrong as this would be, but like finding out your child is like going by a different name because they're internally transgender or something. Like it's not like he's going by a different name because he is too afraid to come out to his parents or anything.
That's a different kind of bigotry.
That's a different kind of bigotry because that, at least you can point at that and go, you're just a bigot. Okay, that's good to know. We'll get you the fuck away from her as quickly as we possibly can. But this is literally him just going, I like when people call me Lex. People call me Lex, and so I tell people to call me Lex.
I've earned the title of Lex.
Right, like...
Middle name's got to be Luther, then.
Like, I don't know.
So, that's the other fun part, right? The mom goes, Lex sounds like a girl's name, and I'm reading it, and I'm going, the only Lex I know is a man. Yeah, the only Lex I've ever heard of is Lex Luthor, whose name is also Alexander.
Yep.
And other people in the comments were like, I only know of Lex Luthor. I've never heard anyone else be called Lex. It's like, oh my God.
At least not people who refer to themselves as Lex. Like, you could shorten Lexi.
Right.
But, like, I've never met a Lexi or an Alexa who goes by Lex.
By Lex, because they always go by Lexi.
Yeah.
Like, I can see a thread in which Lex could be used for.
I think you should legally change your first name just to fuck your mom over.
I was going to point out the comment that said that too.
When can you do that though? Is there like an age?
If you get emancipated at 16, I think you can, but you can also just straight up do it at 18.
Like without
generally legal adult age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I don't know the ins and outs. I've never tried to get my name changed, but I'm fairly certain this dude could do it in 2 years minimum, at the very least. He might even be able to do it now, but that might require emancipation, which is a whole thing in and of itself.
I was gonna say, does the parent have to do something in that process?
That's what I'm not certain of. Emancipation is a way for him to legally take guardianship of himself, and stop being seen as a minor, or more or less.
Yeah.
I guess he'll be still seen as a minor in some situations, but he could technically be his own guardian.
Yeah.
At that point. That's my understanding of what emancipationship is.
Because I've had people who've considered it or have had to done it that I've known or known people who knew them. And generally, it's my understanding it's a way to excise yourself from the control of abusive or controlling parents.
Yeah.
I don't know the full legal ramifications of it, but basically, if you need to be separate and in control of your life because of one reason or another, that's the step you would take as soon as you're possible or able to.
Gotcha. The more you know.
Yep. I won't go so far as to say this mother is. I don't know enough to say this mother is abusive or narcissistic, but she is a bitch. I can say that with utmost confidence, because you should not be this mad because your son has a nickname.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a nickname. Unless
he wants to be called that, like for real. Which
right?
Does he say in any comments like, no, this is really what I want to like my official name
that I recall seeing. No. Let's see, Heather.
Because like did it even say he had a problem with Alexander specifically, or is it just like he just likes being called Lex?
Let's see if he in the comments here.
Because I'm curious.
Yeah, he doesn't comment to anybody. He just posts this.
You know, anybody was that firm on me, on like anything about me, I would change it just to say that
just to spite them.
Just to go,
Kid,
I will
fuck themselves. I will pay for your name change. I will absolutely pay for your name change just to spite your mom on this one, because that's such a silly thing. It's not the first time I've heard that before. I've never heard of anyone's parent mom having this level of a reaction, even though it's not that I don't think it happens often. I'm sure it does, but of like some content creators that I like. One guy named Pat Stares at Boyven. He his mom named him Patrick with the sole intent of no one referring to him as Pat. Like, no, his name is Patrick. Everyone immediately started calling him Pat, and she hates it.
Probably should have picked a different
fucking name. Quit picking names that have common goddamn nicknames.
Or just name them a 3-letter name that you like.
Right? Or do that.
Or maybe that's the thing that annoys her so much, is that
I will name my son Pooh.
Don't you dare call him Poopy.
No, but you will call him P.
Pooh is a dignified name. I selected it for you.
Yeah,
it will get you many a job in the aristocracy.
It won't, because most of the time they don't even read these fucking names until after you're already in the interview process. Yeah. What are you saying?
I would say maybe that's like maybe a reason, or maybe the reason why she doesn't like it, because like, no, that's like Lex isn't a nickname in her mind, maybe. Like,
except the problem is her problem is that he's not going by the full Alexander. I don't think this would have changed if he went by Xander. This wouldn't have changed if he went by Alex. This would always be a problem because her intent is to go by Alexander. She wants Alexander and nothing else. Which
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah, right.
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, she's just a tricked out theater kid.
She's in love with Lin-Manuel. What's his full name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Miranda, there it is.
Lin-Manuel Alexander.
Lin-Manuel Alexander Hamilton Miranda. Yeah, no, like, it's, even if I saw that line, that's still fucking stupid. That would be like my mom getting mad at people for referring to me as like Brownie was a nickname.
Wait, what?
By other black people. It's okay. By other black people.
I was about to be concerned.
They were mostly they're referencing my last name.
Yeah.
But like, people would call me like Ruby, Brownie, like a bunch of other shit, like, right?
For people who didn't know what your last name was.
If y'all don't know, my last name is in fact Brown. It does seem a little out of pocket. I did go to predominantly black schools up until like high school. So the people that gave me this nickname were not doing it for racial reasons. They were doing it for...
I just thought you had a sweet and rich flavor.
And that was mostly the reason.
There you go. There's a reason I have the nickname.
Remember when I said this was elementary and middle school? Let me stop making that reference. But no, it's like it's like if my mom got mad because, and people get nicknames for like crazy reasons. My god brother growing up, the one I told, like y'all know about, his nickname was Big Mac, which is crazy because for me, I always thought it was Big Matt growing up because his name is Matthew. So I always thought it shortened it down to Big Matt. And it wasn't until post his passing that I found out, no, his nickname was Big Mac, as in the burger. I was like, oh, never put that together.
Did they say why?
I think he just liked Big Macs or something like that. It was one of those like people get nicknames for crazy random ass reasons. They'll get named after whatever the fuck. And then like being mad that there's an identity that isn't solely based on what you wanted to call him. Mm-hmm. Like people getting mad that people refer to me as Ruby, or getting mad that people refer to my god brother as Big Mac. Like that is a crazy thing to be mad at when you can still refer to me as whatever the fuck you want to refer to me as. Right. But I don't know. I would love
you to be called Alexander the Great.
My friends call me Fluffy. My enemies call me Walter.
Oh my fucking goodness. Yeah, no, this one is like, it was like obviously an immediate, you're not the asshole kid. Your mom's just kind of nuts. Mm-hmm. And there's, hopefully she's not abusive, but if she is, get the fuck away from her as quickly as possible as soon as you turn 18. I'm
very curious as to
at
what
the very least,
would
Lex, you should know that is a weird reaction for your mom to have.
That is an incredibly weird reaction for a parent to have about you having a nickname.
I would ask her about it, honestly. That would be me. I'd be like, why do you want me to just be Alexander all the time?
I think the problem is that she answered it.
I think she said so.
She answers that question, and I don't think he's going to wind up with a different. I don't think he's going to
only answer.
I don't think he's going to get the 100% truthful answer until he's a full ass adult. I think that's about the only time he's ever going to get, because whether she's saying this as just a stopgap measure, as like any kind of desperation play, just to get him to use it, because people will take you more seriously if you go by Alexander. It's a fucking stupid ass reason. That's a stupid reason, right? Like,
well, and it's because it's the name that she lovingly chose as his mother,
right? It's literally the thing is, it probably just comes down to her being kind of a narcissist and having to exercise control over her child's life. That probably is all it is.
Me as a high schooler, my number one concern is being taken seriously at job interviews.
You know, the job interviews I can't apply for because I'm 16.
I wonder if Elon Musk ever gets like offended if anybody calls his kid something other than
the kid goes by Ash. Oh. And they were pretty okay with that.
I've never heard any pronunciation.
They clarify that pretty quickly. That's just rich affluenza fucking disease. Just rich people doing shit because they fucking can, and they have to prove how weird and eccentric they are. And I hope that kid's doing okay. I'm sure they fucking are. That kid is set up for goddamn life.
I'm sure financially they're doing very well. I'm sure having Elon as a father is very interesting. I don't know how Grimes is as a mother, but
same. I know nothing about her. Is she the one? No, Elon came up with the name.
No,
I think was it Grimes who came up with the name?
Their first kid, I think she did.
I thought that name was her kid before they got together.
Oh,
Elon just erases
that kid's name.
Your name is now.
I don't know very much.
One of them she named with the weird characters.
Yeah.
I think Elon said that was her doing.
Okay. It might have been the first one, because I know the second one is based off of that kid's name is based off two things, one for her and one for him, because he named it after a plane. It's part of the name was based off of a fucking plane.
No,
because it was during his Tesla / SpaceX days.
No, that's not possible.
It's either a plane or a rocket. I think it might have been a rocket, actually.
No, he didn't do that.
No, he did that.
No, he didn't.
He did it.
There's nobody who would be that stupid and self-obsessed.
It's Elon Musk.
Look, I know what I said. I heard the words that came out of my mouth. It doesn't temper the disappointment.
Yeah, and then the beginning part of it came from Grimes herself. And so I remember reading an article about it of like people were asking them like, what's going to happen when you have to pronounce this kid's name? And they just go by Ash. So that's the official pronunciation, is that you will call the kid Ash, ASH, which thank God for Pokemon, because if that precedent didn't already exist, that kid would be getting bullied mercilessly. Mm-hmm. They probably still will, but we'll see. Mm-hmm.
Signing legal documents is going to be extremely interesting.
Oh, it's going to be very fun. Luckily, that kid will never have to do that a day in their life. They'll always have people to do that for them.
Still trying to imagine like substitute teachers coming in to substitute for that class, like reading off the list of names. They're probably told beforehand.
Oh, absolutely.
Ash is probably homeschooled.
I was going to say that kid might be homeschooled.
Do you think that kid's going to public school?
Right.
Fair.
Right.
They've got like a personal tutor.
That kid is 3 years old and has a job at Twitter. All right.
Yeah. True. Maybe that explains a lot.
Sick. Yeah.
The director of security and moral direction.
Director of security and moral direction. Oh, okay. Yep. That's the end of the Reddit bullshit I had for the day. So a little bit of a live action season 2 One Piece.
Yeah.
Casting update.
More castings announced.
Were we right about, was it Nico Rueben?
Oh, that's right.
I don't know, actually. I don't know if they fully announced that one yet. She's not at least in here, but he's Mr. 3, so that's kind of cool.
Damn, is everybody in this bitch? Goddamn.
Not everybody, but
there's 10.
I
10 of
haven't really looked up most of these actors. I just thought that it would be cool to say and talk about. They announced who's voicing who, and Vivi is a big character. And
Nefertari Vivi.
I think this is kind of cool, putting a little bit more, diversity into it, because I don't know, a lot of times in One Piece, characters just kind of like main characters sometimes kind of feel,
white.
Yeah.
Well, they had Black Zoro and Tower of God.
They do have Black Zoro and Tower of God.
Is Zoro not being where he's supposed to be again?
I think that is the joke, but it's quite literally just
it's like it is the Zoro outfit. And
really?
Like, yes.
Fully the Zoro outfit. I think he might even have the scar.
Yeah.
And he's just black.
Just a black dude. It's kind of great.
That's hilarious. But no, so interesting thing about this casting of Dr. Kureha. Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of basically in the shoe or on deck to voice this character. And for those of you who don't know who Dr. Kureha is in One Piece, she's like basically Chopper's one of Chopper's mentors, essentially.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really disappointing to hear.
And the one who kind of sets him onto his, like, one of the two people probably who set him onto his adventure to find a cure for everything, essentially. Kind of puts that will in him. And one of the probably biggest characters, because she's the one who first talks about the will of D and brings that into play in the series.
Jamie Lee Curtis would have kicked ass.
And the thing is Jamie Lee Curtis is a big fan of One Piece.
Yeah.
So they were really trying to get her to voice this, and she said she would. But because of scheduling issues with other movies and stuff she's doing, apparently.
Don't get her for something, because there are other old women.
Yeah. But so she was basically going to be the shoe-in, but because of that reason, she couldn't be, sadly. So everybody was banking on it until this dropped, and we're all, a couple weeks ago that was announced.
I'm sure that Katy Sagal.
Yeah, but Katy Sagal, she's probably going to do just fine.
Good job. But she's no Jamie Lee Curtis.
I hope there's more to this. I'm not going to mention it right now, but I do hope there's more to this than just...
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into too much of why exactly, but at least with the official, announcement.
The official reasoning is that she's just won't be.
Busy.
She's conflicted schedules.
Yes.
Cool with that.
But I don't know. It seems like once again, like...
Say it again.
Oh, I was going to say, it seems like once again, most of these castings I can see being these
I like
characters.
how this dude's last name is just this.
Everybody was talking about it.
Herlick is Herlick.
Yeah.
That's how we got the role, baby.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
I still got to see season 1.
Like,
Oh no, he's hot.
Oh no, he's hot.
Look at that, man. Look at
How far into how many episodes in do you think they'll get with the movie?
I want to squish the lines
The
that emanate from his
movie?
lips.
Well, is this live action
No, this is
series?
this is a series.
Oh.
This is season 2 of the series.
yeah.
how
How far you
how
think they'll get into the series?
accelerated do you think it'll be?
So I am thinking that it's going to be pretty much incredibly hard to do the crazy shit that happens after the time skip. But can they do it? Yes. But I think at that point, I can't imagine it being top tier levels of good all the way up until that point, to the point where we'll get renewed to do a whole bunch of crazier shit after the time skip. I think it would be reasonable for them to go all the way up until that time skip, even though it would kind of suck because that's like a very pinnacle point of One Piece.
Mhm.
I think that would be a reasonable place to stop and be like, if you want to watch more One Piece story, go actually watch One Piece.
So where do they end?
So they would
season
be
one.
ending after. Spoiler alert.
That was not a spoiler alert. That was a spoiler and then a spoiler alert.
Yeah, kind of late for that shit.
Okay, Ruben, I'm sorry. Do some editing.
You could have said they ended after Impel Down. Just edit Impel Down over what he says.
Okay.
No, we're just gonna fucking redo.
Wait,
this
no, it's
right
not
quick.
Impel Down. It's Waterford, right?
Marineford.
Marineford, yeah.
So I think that it would be reasonable for them to end the
Marine.
to end the live action One Piece series on Netflix right after the Marineford arc.
Do you think it would be the end of the season? Do you just think they're not going to renew it for more seasons, or?
I think that's tough though, because if it continues to be a really good and reenactment or whatever,
Dude,
of
if
the
they
story,
nail Marineford, there's gonna be demand.
that's the thing. Like they have to get it good.
I
This
think
dude is just Mr. 5.
he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think it'll be really interesting to see where the animated series takes off, and if by not eating their children in whole, they end up splitting an audience base and not having enough support. Because
Hold on, wait. Say what you just said again.
if by not eating their children in whole,
Yeah, you heard him right.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. It's on me. I'm just stupid.
yeah.
have
That's
you never
fine.
heard that saying before?
I've never heard
I've
that
never
before.
heard
That
Have
incredibly
you heard it
graphic
before?
and deeply
Yeah.
upsetting reference to like Greek mythology and
Oh,
like,
is
Saturn
it
eating
Saturn
his
eating his
kids?
kids?
Yeah, but like it's basically, but it's an idea in business where if you are going to have a product that's similar to an existing one,
Mhm.
you want to completely replace it
Okay.
because otherwise you're going to end up splitting yourself between two products, and you're
Okay.
probably going to end up with less support for both of them and failing.
Fair enough.
Um,
I've never heard that as a spoken phrase.
I hadn't heard it until I was talking with VPs, and you know what? I thought it was very evocative.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It works.
Yeah, no, because if they are able to maintain a stable enough following for both series, and they nail Waterford, no, Marineford, my dyslexic brain cannot hold on to that
You're
word.
probably thinking of Water 7.
I am thinking of Water
then
7, and I'm mixing it with
Yeah.
Marineford, but I want to say Impel Down, but none of those are correct.
I don't blame you because I think
Marineford is correct.
What's that one animated movie? Is it Watership Down? Watershed Down? Waterford Down? The one that everyone gets real sad about because it's like an animated movie about animals, but it's really not for children.
I have no clue.
I think
I feel like I vaguely know what you're
he
talking about.
keeps saying it, and I keep thinking about the movie. Anyway,
Black Hawk Down?
no, I think it's water. It's Water something down. I think it's Watership Down
Watership. That sounds
Watershed Down.
or Watershed. One of the two.
Water has Down syndrome.
Damn.
My water is down with the system.
Look, water has memories.
Yeah, that's some slow water.
Does it now? Is it because it's smart water?
yeah, Watership Down.
Watership Down. Okay.
Eh.
Yes.
I
No.
was making a homeopathy joke. You made a smart water joke out of it.
I didn't catch the.
Really?
I didn't catch the homeopathy joke.
All right, pause.
Okay.
Pause.
All right.
Pause.
I
Have you not heard of the idea that water has memory?
no, I
Yes.
don't follow.
I have heard that, but I didn't dive into it, so I have no idea.
I
what
don't
it
follow
means.
weird white women on social
Have
media.
you not? Look, dude.
Uh huh.
All right.
Uh huh.
I know water beds. They can sometimes remember the foam.
I've seen people point to some real.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know, like memory foam, but it's like memory water.
I don't think that's true.
Interesting studies where, like, singing the waters, making it. Look, people really like the idea that water has like the capacity to remember what was in it and to have very arbitrary responses in response to that. Homeopathy likes the idea that water has memory. That's where the idea that the more you dilute it, the more powerful it comes from within homeopathy.
Wait, because dilute what?
They put a specific molecule in the water.
Yep.
And then they dilute the water.
Okay.
So water has power
So
levels?
if I wanted to take a stronger... No, I'm definitely going to be parroting this. I might be strawmanning this.
Yeah.
But I want to be clear about that. But it's my understanding that if I wanted a stronger effect from my Adderall medication, that I should be able to put it in a solution, have that solution again, have that solution again. And then that ending solution would be more powerful than the original one that I was going to take because that water has memory and it remembers what was in it.
Because, like, if you have like how they make the homeopathic medicine, there wouldn't actually be any of the original molecule in the water. It's just the water remembers the molecule, and that's what has the healing properties.
Yep. So why would that be any more powerful than?
So if you drink seawater, how much remembered stuff is in there?
Probably remembers the washings from my isms.
So what you're saying is if I had kids with a white woman now, and then those had kids with more white people, and those had kids with other white people, and we just kept going down, about 15 generations later is going to be the blackest kids I've ever made in my lifetime.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if the math is mathing.
That math ain't mathing for me.
Look, that's why the moment you break down homeopathy to anybody who thinks, most people are like,
I use my brain.
Bullshit.
I use my brain at a capacity more than 0. Before I pop any more blood vessels on that shit. So yeah, this casting is looking really good. Brandon Murray is about the first person.
Where have I seen him before?
He also looks recognizable to me too. I didn't look him up though. I'm sure one Google search.
One of you quickly, Brandon Murray. Oh, I can copy and paste this. Brandon Murray.
Freaking love Broggy. He's a cool dude.
All right.
I don't need that screenshot shit.
You are.
That's not the right
not
one.
At all. I looked up. What the fuck?
He aged very
either he's
quickly.
like new or he.
Yeah, you're the X Factor dude. You're some singing motherfucker.
Like actor or something.
This looks right.
Maybe.
Born in North Bay, Ontario, Canada, he's an actor best known for his stage work, most notably as Major Nicholas in the Toronto and Broadway touring production of Warhorse.
Is One Piece
several seasons at the Stratford Festival.
Is One Piece on his list of things that he's gonna be in or in? Typically, they would show it.
He's a theater person.
Assuming this is the Brandon Murphy, because they used a terrible picture.
I don't know.
You know what I think it
Murphy,
is?
I meant
You know
Murray.
what I think it is?
What's that?
He looks like the male half of that one Australian podcast.
Lost me.
Nope. Okay. I don't remember their names.
I have no idea what you are referring
If
to.
only I think I show you one clip and you'll remember who they are.
Crocus. Why is that fan still on?
This
bitch
one
off.
people are going a little crazy about.
Yeah.
With because they're like, oh no, he's hot.
Oh no, he's hot.
He looks too young.
But
He does.
Well, that's what people were saying. People were saying that they had to. I mean, that comment right there. They had
Tony
to
and
cast.
Tony and Ryan. No.
Nah. I'm sure you've shown them to me. I'm not recalling it by that name.
But this comment was saying they had to cast a younger smoker because he pops up throughout the entire show. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe.
Fair enough.
YouTube, why don't you load any single fucking thumbnails for me? Okay.
They're gonna have to replace the actors if they continue the show.
Yeah, Julia Rayworld as Nico number fucking 3.
Damn, she's gonna kill that.
She is. She is gonna do a great job at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these guys.
Yeah.
I never knew their names because I've only ever seen them as clips on shorts and stuff.
No, that makes sense.
And I think most of those are usually like reposted rather than actually coming from them. He does look like, he looks kind of like the male half of that. I think the actor is a lot less dadly looking as Ryan is here.
He's a little bit more muscular,
regimented. Nico Robin number 5.
Nico Robin.
It's another Nico Robin. Look at her. That's just another Nico Robin.
The nose is not as strong.
This one is going to be interesting.
Oh, fucking Wapole. I love to hate that man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting character for sure.
There. And now we're back to the beginning.
Okay. Look, we've all got one major antagonist here. Who's playing Crocodile? Who's playing Nico Robin?
Yeah, I think they're
definitely going to hold those off for final hype.
I feel like they're really trying to save those, which sucks. But
we're coming up because we got Vivi in there, right? We got Wapple in there.
Yeah.
Who's playing Chopper?
I gotta know.
A real trained
Peter Dinklage.
No,
Peter Dinklage isn't cute enough to play. He's not cute enough to
Baby
play
Geezer Chopper.
Oh my god, we get a live action Baby Geezer. I feel like that would be a disappointment. Speaking of castings though,
we posted this almost at the same time.
Literally, I went to go post and it was like 9 minutes before I did. You had already posted it and I was like, shit.
Beat you to it.
We got our...
You're too slow.
Fuck you. I'm amazed it took you till now to finally get that joke out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's because he's a quick and clever person.
Only when I'm slow.
Only when he's slow. We got the official trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So where first looks at Knuckles.
Not
Knuckles,
watch
Shadow.
the Knuckles TV series?
I never got around to watching the Knuckles TV series.
I watched the first episode of it because that's free on Paramount's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked interesting as a Sonic film, not as like a, very like, oh, let's watch this for the plot. You know?
Yeah. That's basically what we talked about in the episode we talked about it in.
Yeah, it looks fun. I just didn't watch it, but.
What
do I keep you nerds around for, if not to watch the Sonic movies for me?
We'll probably get to
it eventually.
Right. In here. Yeah. In my lungs. Or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. We need Team Sonic's immediate
assistance. That's a strong ass fist.
Right.
Project
they are setting Shadow up to be a strong motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Shadow's story began a lot like your Sonic. But where you found friends,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Shadow found only pain and loss.
Alright, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
No fall damage.
Much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No!
Whoa.
My turn. Can we just talk about this?
Where's his gun?
I'm still hoping he gets a gun at some point.
I don't know. They got to keep it family friendly.
Fuck that. They were just holding guns in the scene.
Oh, the characters. Though.
The bad
They
guys.
can't give the furry.
Look, all
cute
kids know that all cops
He's
are bad.
the
all right?
antagonist. He can have the gun.
But he's cute though.
He
we can't
is.
Have the
He
kids
is
idolizing
adorable.
cute things with guns.
I think we can. We live in America.
We live in a society.
Doctor,
Your visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
on one condition.
Do this!
I am so glad that he's deciding to reprise his role.
Right.
Save it!
And said he would continue to do so.
I need room.
Yeah.
But, sir, I don't have the proper materials.
And then he'll be done.
Found some.
So he says.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code.
They gave him his motorcycle.
They did give him the motorcycle.
Do what I had to.
Well, when's this motorcycle going to turn into a gun?
Welcome home, my boy. It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
Are you? In the saggy flesh.
We're getting Gerald Robotnik in here too, which is crazy to me. Yeah, that's the trailer for Sonic 3. And honestly,
I'm hyped.
looking pretty sick.
I'm
Yeah,
hyped. I'm
it's
hyped.
looking pretty
This-
fucking good. It seems like they're about to go for a hat trick here with a 3 for 3. Like, hell
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy. Again, you're gonna have those haters who are like, they're so cringy and so this. It's a Sonic film.
It's a
Like,
Sonic film. These were
nobody
never
really
meant to be
cares.
super serious. They're gonna do cool speed shit with some cruel effects, and we're gonna have which really stupidly, I was like, man, who's voicing Shadow? I had completely forgotten it's Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Completely
Yes, sir.
forgotten it's Keanu Reeves.
Yes, sir.
And it was like, oh, that's right, it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Which
so,
again, like
fantastic.
to Fluff's point, should give him a gun.
He should have a
be
gun.
good.
If he does not have a gun in hand at some point in the movie, I'm going to be disappointed.
I thought Sonic was going to explore the deep themes of what it means to be human.
You got to wait until we get to the Sonic 06 movie tie-in for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Please. No, actually though,
Honestly, we
please.
gotta get Silver and Blaze in here somewhere.
Well, you know
we
what?
also still need E1 Omega and Rouge.
That could be how they redeem it.
They could absolutely, because here's the thing:
I
Sonic
will
When's
for
Matt
that.
Mercer going to reprise his role as that one chameleon?
was he SPO?
Yeah.
Have we talked about this? We might have
Yes,
talked
we've
about
talked
this.
about
I completely forgot that was Matt
Yeah,
Mercer.
because he
remember
came
you
on
guys
screen
talking
and
about
I
this.
clocked
Yeah.
it immediately, and you were like, "No way!"
No fucking way.
I was
They're,
like, yeah, that's
they're
Matt
gonna
Mercer
have
for
to
sure.
censor Rouge.
Or maybe not. Maybe they just fucking lean
There's
into
no
it
way
and
they
go.
let 'em-
Well, it depends. If we see a gun
I picked, okay, when
in
you
this
say
movie,
If we see a gun, we're
then
getting
they're
bat
not
tits.
censoring Rouge.
Have you guys
if
ever
we see a gun in
seen?
this movie, we're getting bat tits.
Have you guys ever seen the manhwa like tit censorship that they do?
It's
When
just
there's
like a Yuna.
too much cleavage.
No.
No, they just put like a really bright light. So like a really light, like
They
like,
just draw your attention to it even harder.
yeah, like either there's like a really like weird like white light there, or sometimes they'll like just put like stickers on it, or like
Yeah.
just,
That's the social media censorship
Yeah.
nowadays.
yeah. Well, no, when I say stickers, I mean it's like a little like no R18 blood.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, okay.
Like
yeah, yeah,
literally, the
yeah.
editor had to go in and be like, okay, this is our like this was a little too much for the censors stamp, and they just chunk stamp it on there. But like
Rouge does have like that little like breastplate thing.
She
the
does.
shape of a heart. So like
She also has outfits in which is much more covered up that they could just use.
that's fair.
they could, but I'm just picturing her walking around with like
Just an R
just like
R18 plus.
R18 plus, just like whenever she's in the camera, much like a black bar, just like appearing.
I was gonna say
or, like,
just a mosaic,
pixelation.
just mosaic censorship every time she's on screen.
Just
my
like
fucking
there's
Christ.
nothing underneath it. It's just cleavage, but there's just like sensors.
Just censored every time.
No, what they need to do is they need to have 2 different viewings. One rated R, one PG-13.
Just a random. I think these are PG. I don't think they're even PG-13.
You
feel like they're just PG.
Then PG, and then they
don't fucking rated R version.
They don't even actually show the tits. They just show a little bit of cleavage, and that's
what you get in the rated R version is the cleavage and the jiggle.
The jiggle. That'll do it.
Because the best part about the game she was introduced in, Sonic Adventure 2, is she had jiggle physics.
Oh, really?
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Adventure 2?
Yes. And it's really easy to miss because you don't realize. Me
telling myself to look this up later.
So look this up later, right? Not me telling y'all that I'm the motherfucker who would notice this shit. But you notice that her ears have physics as well.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
I guess that always just distracted me from
it. Only popped up like twice, I think, in one of the cutscenes I know, but particularly in the cutscene after you fight her as Knuckles. Whenever she lands on the ground and stands up, at the same time that her ears are undulating back and forth, her tits are bouncing up and down.
That's why I never noticed. God damn it. They knew they'd get the kids with the ears and the adults with the tits.
Someone at that dev team was like, look, I made this fucking tool and I'm damn well gonna fucking use it for something. I ain't wasting this on just no goddamn ears.
Why are there some extra bones that you put in the chest area? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
Look, we need full control over the rig. I'm just slightly regretting yelling "Show me Rouge's nipples" so loudly into my mic.
You know what to do, Rueben. Bass boost that shit.
Fuck yeah. Show me Rouge's nipples. But no. I can, but not on this, not on the YouTube edit. Maybe I'll see it over on Patreon. We'll see, because there's plenty. There's plenty of Rouge porn.
No, but you gotta draw it yourself, otherwise it's stealing.
Fuck, you're right. All right, I guess I'm becoming a great artist. I'm getting into R34. That's the revenue stream I've been looking for. I'm just gonna start drawing porn.
Just like a stick figure with boobs.
Just a stick figure with a bat's head.
Yeah, two big ears.
It's a stick figure with fake gigantic boobs and a perfectly realistically rendered Rouge the Bat head.
I'm gonna say, I think Sonic would be the one to like.
I thought you were gonna say perfectly realistically rendered nipple.
You know what? Yeah.
Stick figure, circle, and then just the most perfect amount of detail.
Photographic.
Photorealistic nipple. Oh my god! The crazy part that she's not even the first boobs the Bat. There is another Bat in Nintendo games. I don't think anything ever made it to America named Barbara the Bat.
Where does she show up?
Just Rouge.
Because now we got to compare.
Kind of mad.
She doesn't even look like a bat.
She doesn't, right?
Wait. She kind of looks like she came from like Astro Boy's dimension, or at least from the split second thing that you showed me. Wait, hit images.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She was a rock star. I don't remember what the game was.
The most iconic main guitarist in the game, Diagasol Band Brothers?
Something like that.
Huh.
The similarities with Rouge are
immediate and apparent.
Yeah.
Like, Rouge definitely dips a lot heavier into the Bat aesthetic. Mm-hmm. At least Rouge has wings.
Yeah.
But they're both just big titty.
Well, and even down
vaguely
to
animalistic.
The size of the eyes, the shape of the head, the design of the arch on the head.
Yeah.
Rouge has straight up ears, but that's the other thing. The color scheme is very similar. And the Baps.
And those Baps. Yeah, so there's room enough for 2 big titty Bat bitches.
There's room enough for 3, and that 3 is me.
It should have been me. God damn.
But yeah, that's exciting. We're excited for.
We are absolutely
Sonic
excited
Movie
for
3. We
Sonic
will be
3.
there in theaters.
Yes.
We will be there.
When is it coming out? December
The
20th. Shit.
That's Keon's birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He is pre-Christmas. Too late.
I think I feel like we did.
We probably have. All right, December 20th.
By naming,
It's Kiwi's birthday.
Oh, that's right. We did his
like episode 4.
yeah.
did
Yeah,
we
we
name the
mentioned it 'cause
specific date of his birth with his name?
So
All right.
Bleep it
No,
out.
you're right. That's generally public information.
That is
that's
very
easily
public information.
referenceable. No, I'm just being. All right.
I was thinking about it. And I'm like, yeah, you know.
we haven't said his last name. It's okay.
Hackers already have his information.
Damn.
Well, it's Kiwi. We've
Well,
said
probably-
his last name.
Find that nigga a fucking girlfriend if while y'all are at
They
it.
probably have his social security number.
Ooh, well, sorry, Keon. Final thing I want to bring up for y'all, and this will be the end of my bullshit or / our news bullshit.
Nah.
Cause you didn't really have anything else to talk about, did you?
I
I think that was everything in here from your end as well.
think so.
I was gonna talk about this because I came up today, but I'll save that for another
Wait,
time.
was it? Wait. Scroll down a little bit. More. A little more.
Yeah, no, that's the whole
Oh,
thing.
that's it?
That's
oh,
it.
okay, yeah. I don't know why I thought I saw more under there. 'Cause I was like,
Yeah. You may have heard this edit
Don't let
before.
a single one get away.
We'll win this. I know we will.
Was that actual cutscenes from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the opening cinematic
Cutscene.
for
That cinematic was much higher quality than I was expecting for that.
Oh yeah, no, that
They went hard.
they went fucking ham.
Every single
with
character
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
announcement was like that with the quality.
Yeah,
Which is why it was so hyped every time they had one.
yeah. So it being Smash Bros. Is not the important bit here, even though this is a fantastic edit. The important part is this sound sample. Is this really cool, very soulful, like lends itself super well to these kind of like this edit style. The funny thing about that sample
I
is
just
that
realized it's the same artist that we talked about that one time. Continue.
Crackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I don't immediately remember. You have to jog my memory. But the really funny thing about this song sample is its popularity and how much people fucking love it is sky high. But if you know where the song that it comes from is, so you don't have to really be a hip hop fan to understand this, but that sample is using the song by an artist called Trip Lee, where that was, I keep calling it a sample. That intro is to a rap song. And I've never seen such a unanimous, this is a God tier sample that is immediately fumbled by the actual song it comes from. People have done nothing but clown the rest of the song. That little ending bit. So like that bit goes into the rest of the song, which is, if I gotta say, if like I listened to a bit of it and it's really not that great. It's not terrible either. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard or anything, but you can't have a God tier intro like that. And then like the most mediocre trap hip hop bullshit, because it then just sounds like a crash and burn by association. Like that is, and I know we did a lot of talking about Kendrick Lamar. That is absolutely the kind of intro that will go over a Kendrick Lamar, like the beginning of a Kendrick Lamar song, and go into one of the greatest things you ever heard in your life. Like,
Oh yeah.
I have wanted nothing more than to get a version of this that uses that sample and goes into an artist that knows how to use a sample like that.
So is that just like a really good producer with a not really good rapper?
No, Trip Lee is, I'm not really certain what Trip Lee is, because I remember him, I didn't even know he was still making music, I'll be honest with you, until this came up. But Trip Lee, I think is a self-produced rapper. So he does his own production and his own rapping. I
What's
think
the rest of the song sound like?
What's the name of it? I don't know. That's gonna get me where I want to go.
Yeah, they all pause right before it. That's how you
know.
know.
This isn't even a sample. What? Triply, I don't know how true this is. Triply and his producer actually made the intro themselves, so no real OG sample from what I've heard. Oh my God. They wrote and produced this intro for their own song and fumbled the ever-loving fuck out of it. That's unfortunate. I don't want to...
Wait.
What's the song called?
I don't remember. I think it's called Lay Down. The song might be called Lay Down by Triply.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Even the comments, yeah, the song has so much potential with that sample, bro. You really
Which is crazy that it's not even a sample. Like I would never have guessed that wasn't like some fucking 70s, 80s soul music or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
This comment here is like, I fully agree. Like, please remake this song around the sample. Like that fast beat was so unnecessary. They said he'll cash happen $500 if he just make the song better. I think you will need more than $500, my G.
How long ago was this? Because I feel like somebody may have just gone and done it.
Oh, I've been looking since this came out.
Really?
I've been looking in the last like week that I've known of it, and I've not found anyone really making something, but this is this.
No, this is not it.
Yeah, this is. I think they're just doing a
bass line to it.
Well, I think they are, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'd have to listen to more, but just a god tier intro with a just mid ass song, which is so unfortunate. I would hate to be. My entire deal is making music and putting out music, and the thing that blows up is people going, man, you fumbled the fuck out of this sample.
You fumbled the bag.
You fumbled the ever-loving fuck out of this bag, man.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Lay Down Kendrick?
That's, a lot of people are hoping, like I think a lot of people are just hoping that, because every time I go through this search, there's no one who's actually matched this up with any Kendrick songs. I think most people are looking to see if there is a Kendrick mashup or not. But yeah. Okie dokie.
Okie What?
Thank you for co-signing.
You welcome.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. What's the movie you wanted to talk about?
Mad God.
Mad God. Google, you fucking whore. Why? Was
what the fuck was that?
Let me Google that for you.
Oh, that's why I know of this. Okay.
Is this like Mighty Number 9?
He did.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Them balls were big. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Was that an accurate trailer?
Yeah, pretty accurate. Yeah. I don't know. I just stumbled across it like last week and watched it, and it's crazy. Like the animation and like the scale of the sets.
Yeah.
And like
really?
the trailer said it was in they were making it for 30 years. Like,
yeah.
Oh, legit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
I really want to see this. No, we've heard about this before. Haven't we?
You say that.
Yeah.
You'll have to. You will know how my brain
that
works.
video that keeps popping up in your feed, literally on like every single thing we popped up where it was like Mad Gods.
So
we watched that and they reference this very heavily.
I remember watching that video. I don't remember recalling. I did not retain anything about that video other than the fact that I do watch that dude's channel. I know exactly what you're talking about because when we brought it up, I did think about that video because I do remember watching that video. I remember that being a lot more video game based. So I don't.
Well, they reference a lot from that, but they also talk a lot about this one in particular.
Fair enough. That might have been a thing I put on and did not pay a lot of attention to, unfortunately. But I'll be down to go look at it again.
But
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but it's kind of an odd. It doesn't have like the kind of like the normal 3-act kind of structure of you usually see in movies. It's obviously a horror. There's quite a bit of like gross and like
the streaming service called Shudder.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still really liked it overall. Like it has. I don't know what the meaning behind it is, but there seems to be some pretty like deep meaning to the symbolism and everything that's going on. But
is there actual dialogue or is it all kind of just visual storytelling?
There's only a few words. It's mostly just visual.
You should get high and watch it.
I don't know. That's a great idea for me.
You'd be fine.
I'm sure.
That's what they want you to think.
Didn't I tell y'all I jump scared myself while high before?
It's not a jump scare.
No, I'm not saying that it has to be jump scare. I did it to myself once. Like my brain just decided to pop up horrifying imagery for no great reason.
Oh, really? Like hallucination.
As in, it's more of that like waking dream kind of state. Like I had gotten high and was laying down in bed.
You see that? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, but
I don't get that either.
I didn't get it often either until it fucking happened.
Well, I mean, like the
actually, I might know what you mean, but I only really experience that when I'm half asleep.
No, I'm not saying this has happened. This happens as a normal like thing to happen. I generally get imagery. Like if I do enough, I'm usually like floating out, spacing out type of shit.
Well, yeah, I'll make weird noises to fuck with you.
Yeah, I know. I remember. You fuck with me, not that heavily. Not as heavily as you think you are. But this was me laying in bed and I was in a very like kind of in between state, also high at the same time. So I was dreaming, but I wasn't asleep. Like I was still conscious enough that I was aware of my surroundings, and just something popped the fuck up that pretty much killed the high. Like it popped me out of it so hard it killed the high. I was just like, don't want to deal with that again.
Sleep paralysis, a demon?
No, not that bad. Sleep paralysis even would have been a whole lot worse than what I got, but it was enough to. It was just like a really interesting scene that happened. Anyway, point being is, I don't know how, as someone who doesn't like horror as already, even though this sounds like the kind of horror that I can get behind, I'm down to watch it. Whether I do it high or not is in question, but I'm down to watch this.
A little bit high.
Fair. I think this will be. It's the fact that there's also no dialogue. Being high and watching it is just going to wind up with a Penguin Highway situation where I'm just mostly confused the whole time.
Yeah.
And I would kind of like to, but something like this, I would prefer to be like.
I find that I track abstract meaning better when I'm a little bit high.
You do. It's very interesting. Like you pick up on stuff so easily where I'm like, this is confusing as shit.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if you'll have much luck either way with this one. But.
Right, that's why I don't want to be any more confused than what I'm probably already going to be.
True.
If even you're saying like you watch the whole thing and you still don't know what the meaning of it was.
I feel like I'd have to watch it a few times or look
Fair.
up. Like, there's probably many interpretations, but
probably.
No. A purely visual experience, a tableau of multiple horrifying imageries with no clear plot, has multiple interpretations,
impossible.
At least maybe two.
Hell yeah. No, we'll give
the right one and the wrong one.
The right one and the wrong one. Yeah, we'll give this a watch. I'll be down to watch this at some point. We'll see when. And then, we'll talk about it properly and get all of our inputs on it. We'll have to do it soon because next month I say next month like it's not in a couple days. We're coming up on a very busy time of this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I need to buy pants.
Say it again?
I need to buy pants.
I also need to buy pants.
I actually do as
probably
well.
not for the same reason.
Yeah. It's because you shit yours out.
Yeah.
That last part was
Look, sometimes those things don't come out. All right, you need new pants.
Just
No,
gotta
it's
go
because
get
I'm
some new ones.
ripping them left and right.
fair.
He's jacked. You're getting too jacked.
Gigantic thighs and thunder thighs are coming up now. This next month is about to get kind of crazy. I don't even know what that means for the podcast going forward right now, if we're gonna be too busy or not. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna end up happening on that, but September is gonna be a wild month for us. Y'all won't know that until like fucking December because I'm still in a backlog and trying to catch up right now. But you'll figure it out.
You'll just notice a longer length of time, maybe.
Right.
That isn't where nothing is being posted potentially.
Yeah. I'm gonna still
that
try
was.
to keep posting stuff more regularly, but if there's another big ass gap, you'd know why.
They're not gonna get this announcement in time.
They're not.
You will
Bro, this
understand why
is
there
us
was
explaining
months
what
ago.
happened.
Yeah.
This is not a announcement. This is an explanation.
Back in 2024.
Uh-huh.
when
Back
there
in
was-
2024. This is definitely coming out in 2026. That's just how this shit goes, because until we start getting paid for it, I can't dedicate a lot of time the way I want to it. But oh well,
We're
we'll get
moving houses, making shit, getting married.
Yeah.
Helping people get married, stopping people from getting married.
Destroying marriages before they can even happen. It's crazy.
Living through election cycles.
That too.
I wonder who.
I had to wait till we move before I can get registered to vote. It's one of the most stressful experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, weird.
You don't have to re-register, right?
You will, because he's going to be in a whole different county compared to where he would be registered
Raymond's
right now.
Revenge. How are there spinoffs I've not heard of? Yeah, I read all the resources I could find about this shit.
Wait, is this?
This
Not
is
what I
not
meant to look
it.
up.
I was like, wait, is this the right one we were talking
That
about?
tome.
That's all.
Yeah, today I wanted to take some time and just talk about one of my favorite series of all time. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Wow.
Rimaru.
This probably is, if you've been around the block since like 2016, this is probably not a super new series to you. Slime has been fairly popular for a while now.
That it has.
And
Is that Rimaru in the manga?
Yeah.
Hair's not as blue as I thought it would be.
No.
No,
The blob, the
Yeah, I
blue
know
blob, that is Rimaru.
Yeah, I know that.
The black hair, that is Shizu. Yeah, okay. All right. Do you want the full explanation?
We'll get there.
All right. So, do you want to read the synopsis?
I got you. All right. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. In an unexpected twist of fate, the unremarkable Mikami Satoru's mundane life comes to a premature end when he falls victim to a violent slasher. Oh, more fucking creative move into the isekai world.
Instead
Hell
of
yeah.
truck coon.
Slasher coon.
Yeah, slasher coon. Instead of the peaceful oblivion he expects, he is met with a mystifying voice and awakens to an existence devoid of sight and sound. Astonishingly, he has been reborn as a slime, a creature renowned in folklore for its weak abilities. Caught between lamenting his transformation into the notorious yet feeble slime and simultaneously relishing the unique experience of his newfound form. Damn. Mikami Satoru crosses the paths with the storm dragon Veldora, a monster feared for his catastrophic power. This chance encounter triggers a shift in Satoru's destiny, setting him on a path fraught with unpredictability and excitement.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did I just see like 4 other
Yeah, you
copy
did.
manga like slime?
Well, that slime's saying this one is a reincarnated as a slime.
That might be an OG cover.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think
that might be Satoru.
this is the same one. This is just an OG.
What?
There's only one chapter available, so I think someone's just stealing.
This might be the promo.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, what a shitty cover.
That cover's not great at all. This cover is terrible.
Damn. There's a very specific artist. I don't know if they're the mangaka. Shit. I definitely mispronounced that. But I don't know if they're the manga artist that is currently writing the slime manga. Or
Damn fly is still in here.
Doing the drawings. But they when they were published as light novels from the original web novel, this artist hopped on and really defined the visual style for the series. And that's where you get a lot of the looks that you see represented in the anime, in the manga. I wish I could remember their name off the top of my head, but I really suck at
That's fair.
that kind of a thing. I would have to have notes in front of me, which if I would have known I was talking about this, I might have done, but I decided it like 2 hours ago that we were doing this. But yeah, no, they come around the 27th of every month is when the 26th, 27th is typically when the new manga chapter comes out. And so it was on top of mind and I wanted to take some time to talk about it. This is one of my favorite series of all time, for a lot of reasons. I think that it has a really enjoyable story. I think that it walks a lot of lines really well in terms of creating something that's enjoyable, creating something that's not super problematic. I say that not because I found anything problematic in it, but because I know that they have blind spots that could exist within the text that I'm not aware of. And the path that the main character takes, and as the story evolves, the different themes that they take on, I think transition very, very smoothly from one to another, and then maintain interest, I think, in a really effective way. You having fun trying to swat at that fly there?
There's a fucking fly in our goddamn recording area, and it's becoming a problem.
It's coming right at me.
Oh Lord, he's coming.
It's too irresistible, said Izzy the cat.
But yeah, well, because when a lot of these reincarnation stories are at their strongest is when you first introduce their character and they are very first getting their feet on the ground.
Yeah.
That's usually when the narrative tension's at its highest. The problems that they had to solve seem the biggest and the most insurmountable, and you get the best payoffs and the most unexpected payoffs for the things that your character is going through. And that type of progression is impossible to maintain throughout the entire narrative. But this show does a really good job of piggybacking off of that directly into like a found family narrative, and then piggybacking off of that into like narratives about that have like political intrigue, but also like combat and power scaling,
which is where I picked up in the show, because that's where he's been watching it.
Yeah. The show right now, I think, is doing a really good job of navigating one of the weaker arcs, at least for like manga and anime. Because a lot of that manga and anime is like when you're reading a book about this political faction negotiating in a chamber, and then this political faction negotiating in a chamber, and then the intrigue develops over here, and the intrigue develops over here. Yeah. That is really hard to translate effectively to an anime. Yeah. Especially something that's driven by like action and visual movement, right? Just like having people sitting in a chamber talking together doesn't make for a compelling show. And they do a really good job of being like, okay, here's what we're going to do. There's going to be one episode, and we're going to do a lot of talking in that episode. And then the next episode, we're going to have a lot of fighting. Sick. And so I think they've been doing a really good job of navigating it, and then I'm getting really curious to see how the festival arc is going to play out, because that's one of my favorite arcs. It takes up 2 books in the light novels because it's just a massive payoff for all of the conflict that the character's been going through.
Okay, fair enough.
And so it's really good, and then it really like ramps up and cements like what Tempest has become and its new place in society before they take the tension and go. Just crank it all the way up again.
Thank you, because I was not entirely certain what that motion and noise was.
That's the sound of every bone in everybody's body breaking.
Okay.
No, that's the sound of the like threats you didn't even know existing coming out of the bulwark. Threats that have like, I'm not going to actually say that because that's a pretty major spoiler.
Spoiler area.
But yeah. Well, I don't know how spoilery it would be, but I'm not going to say it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I found it to be deeply enjoyable as a manga read, as a light novel read, as a watching the anime. Literally, with the exception of going and reading the web novel, because I find that often, well, for the reason I haven't read the web novel is twofold. One, I think that if I just went and binged it all at once, there's a really good chance I could fall off the series, which I don't want to do.
Fair.
And 2, I find that when I've observed other series that go through a similar process, like One Punch Man or stuff like that, that the weakest form of the story is usually that web novel.
Fair enough.
Right. That web novel ends up being like a first draft, and then it gets altered slightly. But by the time we're like 17 books in, like different choices have been made, and it ends up kind of being almost like a manga and an anime that have like run parallel to each other and like deviated strangely. Like where the author gets to explore things they didn't get to explore before, or flesh things out, or make slightly different choices about what they portray. And so the light novels, I think, are the strongest form of the story, but if you don't read books, the manga and the anime are also very, very good.
Sick. I can attest. I only know the anime. I have never read the manga like you have, but the when I sit down and you have it on and I get to sit down and watch it, it is always a good time to watch. It has always been a fun watch.
Yeah, same. I've been catching up on it too. I watched the first like season and a half, and then I like paused it. I haven't read any of the manga or the light novels or anything. I've just been watching the anime. And after a while of pausing and the anime just releasing more and more episodes, more seasons and stuff, I was like, okay, I think it's about time to come back. And yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. I'm all caught up with the dub because I watch dub. I'm a dirty dub watcher. Okay.
Fucking hate it. This is why we're kicking you out.
Yeah.
And it's only like 1 or 2 episodes behind sub right now, but it's good. It's really good.
Hell yeah.
You watched the dub?
Does that shock you?
With this one, it does, because the dub's kind of annoying.
I could see where you would think that for sure.
Rimaru's voice in the dub in particular is not the most pleasant.
Yeah, at times it does get a little annoying, but I think it's just I got used to it.
You can get used to it for sure. I've gotten used to it. Sometimes I put it on when I've had to
Doesn't
listen to.
Just sound like Amy Rose. Am I thinking of that?
I don't know Amy.
Amy Rose, the character from Sonic.
I think
that's not a point of reference for me.
I think
it's
Rimaru sounds
similar to the Japanese, but a little more
nasally.
Yeah, a little more gobbly. That's not even. I don't know if that makes any sense.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Gobbly. The only thing I can think of that relates to that is like gobbling or goblins or goblets. That's 3 things actually.
I don't even know.
But my brain goes to gobblings and gobbling, and you know where we go after that.
Well, he kind of has like 2 different timbres, right, of his voice. One when he's in his slime
pulling
form.
out the fucking audio production master jargon. Holy shit!
This bitch knows words.
Coming out with fucking timbre in here. Get the fuck out of here, you
gobbling.
musicians, child.
So like he has like a slime type of voice, and then he has his human voice, and you can tell which one is which, even though they both kind of have a similar tone to it. It is always that high pitch, like, but in his blob form, it's almost like echoey / like ethereal almost, or whatever.
Ethereal?
Yeah, ethereal, yeah. I wouldn't say it's Amy Rose, but
it's not quite Amy Rose, but it's
Click on one more. He's slime. Wait, is that the whole episode?
That is the whole fucking episode. We're not doing that.
I mean, you could hear his voice at least.
You could. How long does it take to get into it?
I mean, just click in the middle of it and you'll hear it.
Probably. Just got the whole first episode on fucking YouTube on a channel called Crunchyroll Dubs.
When you say skill, do you mean like my abilities? What is predator?
What does it say predator?
That's the exact same voice.
I guess I didn't do it here.
This right here.
Once the analysis is
You
No.
good?
The way that the VFX and the way that they do the system portrayals, they're so fucking cool.
They are really cool.
It's just like, it's such a good way to portray something that could very easily be so boring.
Yeah.
Is that one of the things that you think escalated with the anime from the manga or the, reading light novels?
It's one of the things that they do so well, right? Is because they manage, like, if you look at a series like I always forget what it's called. That when I got reincarnated as a sword, the one where he gets reincarnated as a sword.
She voiced Black Star from Soul Eater.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
Yeah. I talked about this a little bit before. I don't know if it's made it into the podcast or not, but like one of the big problems with like skills based power scaling that happens in a lot of like reincarnated things is eventually you just end up with these lists that are like this long, that take up like such a big chunk of the page and are essentially at a certain point just visual noise, because they eventually kind of lose meaning in terms of like what they're actually providing the character, because highlighting or figuring out what's significant when you're looking at just this list, this like paragraph block of just like sword fighting level 9, poison resistance level 16, cooking level
Dark
45,
Fang.
dark Fang, right? Like knowing what matters, knowing what's important, and making that a significant part of the story really falls flat really fast. And so one, basically making that element of scaling a character, right, that you interact with, giving it such a high level of like visual appeal, right, and then having those concepts and those abilities condense into, essentially get swallowed up by like higher level, like more significant things as the power scales. So like abilities like being able to absorb things, being able to share powers with the peak creatures that you've named, that gets absorbed into this one ability that is called this, right? And that like
simplifies things.
Yeah, it simplifies things for you as a reader. It makes comparing characters and what they can do so much easier. Makes understanding the world and how things work in it so much easier. And then just making things look sexy and being able to portray drama in things like that is not a simple or easy thing to do. They do a really good job of it. I like the series a lot. I could talk ad nauseum about a lot of different things. A lot of my favorite moments from the series haven't even happened yet on screen. So
okay,
yeah.
That makes me excited about
Right.
what's coming up.
So. Yeah. Hell yeah. No, Reincarnated as a Slime has been, even knowing nothing about it going into like halfway through the fucking series, I'm still having a good time with it. You mentioned earlier about like how they handle political intrigue and all that fun jazz, and they do a pretty decent, good job of it from what I can tell.
I was just about to talk about that too. Like literally you mentioned that even the boring stuff, and it's like arguably not boring if you're paying attention to the story, and that there's a highlight on that. If you're paying attention to the story, it's not boring because you learn a lot of really cool things about how the world works.
Yeah.
And what these characters' motives are and why things are happening, I guess.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to not think about it and to just be like, oh, they're not fighting, I'm going to turn my brain off. And you're going to miss a whole episode. And then it's like, okay, when they do start fighting, you won't know why they're fighting.
Yeah.
Because shit that happened last episode was important.
Mm-hmm.
But when you listen to it, it's interesting. I don't know. There aren't a lot of shows that get me like that, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, they're talking around a table. Okay, I need to listen. Like, this is going to be interesting. Like,
right.
I'm not like that with like any other show.
Yeah.
That's because most other shows don't make it interesting.
Yeah.
It's to pull up a reference, kind of an unrelated, well, it was a related but unrelated medium. Another media that did political intrigue very well was the Aragon series.
It's been a really long time.
It has been a long time. So it's weird that this even popped up. And when you were explaining the sitting around a table talking politics and that's all the scene is, first thing that popped in my head, and I couldn't even tell you which book this was in. I want to say it was like the second or third book. You had Aragon visiting the Dwarf Kingdom, and there's just a whole scene about dwarfs doing politics about how they're going to handle one dwarf kingdom. I don't even ask me what the setup for the scene is. All I remember is a dwarf king getting shunned and that being a really big deal. And that was one where literally the whole scene was taking place in a chamber, just doing politics, and you get to learn. And I think that's the best part is when you're learning about. And much, it's like, because I think it's really easy to have like real world politics just in a fantasy setting, and that's just boring as fuck because politics. But when you're learning, when your fantasy setting has politics that are unique to its setting, is where that becomes way more interesting and fun to learn. So like with the Aragon example, you learn that dwarves dole out their punishment by literally just shunning a person and just ignoring them, and that is the worst insult you get. Like, you may as well have given them the death penalty if they are being ignored and shunned until such time as they decide that the punishment is over. And while Slime doesn't really go that far into having like that unique of you do get the whole, like, I think there's the times where Rimuru is sitting down and running his kingdom. And then there's the times when you have the demon council, or I don't know what to call it, the demon council, but the demon lords meeting with each other, which is its own interesting thing, like getting to see like how those conflicts are solved and resolved and all that fun jazz, as well as the times where Rimuru is parlaying with other political factions and stuff like that. Has always been a really interesting time.
There's something that I also think is really interesting about the series, is that Rimuru fucks that shit up all the time.
Every time.
He's fortunate enough to have like some good-natured people that are willing to support him, right? That they made a connection with, like the king of the Dwarven Kingdom, that provided like advice and counsel to him,
right?
So that he's able to at least like make it through and learn from his mistakes,
right?
But like one of the moments that really stuck with me in the series was when he first visits the Dwarven Kingdom and he gives a speech on the to the Dwarven Kingdom about their desire for like friendship and cooperation, and the Dwarven King takes him back after that. He was like, "Thanks for coming. That speech sucked." He's like, you sounded like a soft bitch, pitching friendship to the entire kingdom. It's like, you're a ruler of a country and I'm gonna need you to act like it. I'm paraphrasing obviously, but
still,
yeah, the like coming from like a person who would navigate like friendship and cohabitation on an individual scale and is attempting to communicate it like that, and being confronted with the fact that that's not how that works when we're talking about like the interaction of nations.
Yeah.
And now, like, whether or not how legitimate the interpretations or the advice given, that's a whole nother like method of discussing. That's not something I've examined in depth. But the fact that they at least have that, and they have that as a component of character growth, is something I really appreciate.
Yeah, you don't have not every heartfelt speech is going to produce the result that you want in every situation that you put it in. Yeah. You cannot talk no jutsu your way out of everything, Naruto.
He says, believe it. Watch me.
We watched and we believed. All right.
Goddamn, he did it.
Goddamn, he did it. I think people, once again, to talk about something else that isn't slime, people give talk no jutsu a lot of flack when it actually kind of works out pretty well. Because it's less about, like, Naruto never just like explicitly forgives anybody for their wrongdoing. Mm-hmm. It's mostly that he looks in and sees like, okay, I see the flaw that's going on here, and I understand how we kind of get to where this is. Let me. Basically, Naruto keeps going like, I understand.
Do it for you.
Which more or less is kind of what he's doing. He's more like, look, let me try something different here. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't work, do whatever the fuck you want. And kind of goes on from there. And everybody's like, okay, I can see you actually want to try, and let him try it. But it's really hard to talk down a person after they just genocided your whole fucking city. That is a little bit of a crazy turnaround. But yeah, I think that is a sick aspect of slime. And when it's like, yeah, no, motherfucker, you have to be a ruler. You can't just... Your friendship speech is great and all, but it doesn't work that way.
For all the good you want to do in the world, you still have to show the world that you can't be fucked with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By enslaving them in debt.
Yes. The only true way forward is capitalism, Rimuru.
Which is what he does. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forget what the name of it is, but it's the one fantasy one we watched where I was like, this is when we talked about the manhwa, I believe. Where I was like, this seems like trying to do the slime deal, but like slightly worse.
Yeah, the Moonlight Fantasy. I can never pronounce the beginning half of it. Like Tsushigami,
something like that.
Fantasy. Yeah, the which like again like has him gathering a community of outsiders.
Yep.
But the guy is edgy and different, and I would be curious how the writing would land if I went and found the original light novel and read it. Mm-hmm. But at least in the anime, it really fell flat for me.
Yeah.
And in the manga, I think is doing a little bit better of a job with it. But the latest arc, I think, has just been kind of losing the plot for me a little bit. But yeah, it does some of the similar things that slime does, but just slime isn't a blueprint formula, like you know, and a lot of the things that happen in Tsuchigami are just, I think, specifically surrounding the characterization of the main character, and the likability of some of the deuterogonists. Is that I think that's the word for it. The main pair of supporting female characters.
Maybe I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, I read it on the wiki. That's the only reason I know the word in the first place.
That's fair. Mm. I've definitely seen that word before. I just couldn't immediately tell you what the definition of it is.
Yeah. So,
hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it, read it,
read it.
Please watch it, read it. Whatever form of medium you want to use to consume this story.
There might be audiobooks. You never know.
There might be.
Actually, though.
Speaking of audiobooks, I should talk about that next episode.
Okie dokie. We're going to talk about the history of audiobooks.
So when the phonograph was first introduced.
We're going to do that today, actually.
All right, never mind. We're doing it now. No.
Thomas Jefferson said Mary had
introduced as a personal recording device.
You don't know what that is.
Well, Thomas Jefferson was it? No.
People thought they were going to use it in offices.
Did they? Like,
And then-
as dictation machines?
Yes,
Like
and
it's
then
a
women
decision.
realized that they could use it to listen to music while they clean the house.
Oh,
And then it became commercially viable.
Yeah. Because women rule the world.
no, because music world rules the world.
No, because God is music.
And music is God.
And
Music
the
is a-
music industry owns God.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was
And-
gonna say music is a woman, but now
I
I don't
was-
feel
I was also
comfortable with
trying
that joke.
I was also trying to put women back in there, and there was like, God owns women. No, music.
No,
owns
yeah.
Women.
No, you were
own
right the first way.
music. I was trying to figure out where to put that
Yeah, well.
without sounding terrible.
Well, God sucks dick. And women suck dick.
Therefore, women are God.
There's a tie. There it is.
There it
No,
is.
that's
Yeah,
terrible.
That's a
I'm sorry.
terrible tie.
We got there, folks.
Oh man, this is going to be the episode. So when we put out this 50-minute long episode, you'll understand that we just cut out so much of it because sometimes that is required.
Yeah, so the figure on this chapter 1 here is Shizu. And
Oh, yeah.
Shizu,
Yeah, we never talked about this.
We never did talk about this.
And Shizu is I believe they are categorized as a hero.
Okay.
I say that because that has significance within like the world of slime. But they towards the end of their career, they arrive at Jura, the Jura forest, at the area where Rimuru started to set up base.
Yeah.
Around the time when they're just starting to develop. And Shizu is also an otherworlder. And she's running
From Japan, right?
from Japan.
That'd be some bullshit. I get sent to this world and I get turned into a goddamn slime. And here you are getting to be a whole ass hero.
Well, the only reason let's be very clear. Shizu was a tragic character. Shizu was summoned as a child against her will.
Oh.
The only reason she was able to survive is because she was fused with a flame spirit that helped her to not explode like most children summoned in that fashion do.
Oh. Okay.
And Shizu, at the time that she is meeting Rimuru, is sort of running out of the end of the fuse, at the end of the effective range, so to speak, of this fire spirit sort of quelling her magic.
So she's about to explode.
And basically she does. And so
She's been
Rimuru
edging.
fights off the fire spirit, zoops it up.
This is all spoiler alert, but at the same time, it happens in the first season, kind of. So not necessarily, but you know.
Listen, I feel like this is prologue. I'm sure we should actually put a spoiler tag or preface.
All
on
right,
this.
fine.
I'll mark it.
The and so the he zoops it up, and without the spirit, Shizu isn't long for the world. And so
Exploding would do that, yeah.
what Rimuru does is he does his like Edie thing, and as a part of
Absorption.
that, in her final moments, he shows her what has happened to Japan since she's left. Right.
He does his what thing?
So Rimuru can like swallow people and put them in his
So
stomach.
you did say eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absorbs
eating.
them.
Yeah, he like absorbs them.
Just like monsters and so that's so easy.
Yeah,
to
no,
be
I
able
get,
to- yeah.
okay, I get it now.
Yeah, he shows them because you know, like the period of Japan in which like Demon Slayer takes place, where it's like modernizing and stuff like that. It was either just before or like during that time that Shizu gets like sent away. So it was like a very ambiguous and kind of like uncertain time.
Fair enough.
And so he shows like the progress and where Japan is now, and basically sends her off peacefully.
Nice.
With these like really nice reflections of like hope and prosperity. And so that happens, and Rimuru then gobbles her up,
Like absorbs her.
like
and that's
absorbs
how
her.
he gets his
That's how he gets his human
physical form. Her human
Oh,
form.
okay.
So
okay,
that's
okay,
why
okay.
when you look at that, you're like, that's Rimuru, right? Because that is the form that Rimuru takes. Is he looks like Shizu?
Okay, that's why he's so feminine.
form.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I learned something tonight. Yeah, no, that's sick. That is sick. So I think we'll end it off there. I have nothing else. I got nothing else to talk about. Anybody else got anything they want to get off the chest before we go?
Nah.
Any other major things to bring up?
I mean,
I'm looking for a wife.
I went to New
Or a
Jersey, New
husband.
York.
You did go to New Jersey, New York.
That was fun.
New Jersey, New York.
/ New York. It was like right on the line, essentially.
Fair enough.
For work. That was a good time.
You finally got to go visit the. I'm amazed you're not wearing your Lady Liberty.
Oh, I do
thing
have
to
that,
do.
don't I? Dang, I
Should have wore that
definitely
tonight.
didn't
You're not even wearing your cap tonight. What's wrong with you, man? What happened?
You could tell it's been a stressful night of work for me, but
It
it's
has
okay.
been.
We're getting through it.
Yep, you got to go take what was supposed to be like a 24-hour trip turned into like a 3-day trip,
Yeah.
3-4-day trip.
Yeah, essentially.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But you're home now.
Concrete
We
jungle,
back at it.
wet dream tomato.
Oh my gosh. Can't unhear it.
So yeah, follow our socials. You know the usual ones around the screen. 5-star,
5-star, like,
comment, subscribe.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell. Make sure to hit that bell, knowing that when our beautiful, lovely faces show up.
Leave a review.
View on Spotify will always be helpful.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Stay gay.
Peace.
bye. If I shit myself, I shit myself. It is what it is.
Somebody